The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. The BS Report. The BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the BS Report, here with Michael B. Jordan, Friday afternoon. Taping this now. I don't know when it's running. Big week for you.
It is. It is, man. I've been enjoying it, dude. It's been a roller coaster ride, man. Just from January till now, since Sundance, it's just been nonstop. Ever since Harvey picked up the film, it's just been Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
It's been it's just been nonstop.
The movie is Fruitvale Station.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the most buzzed about drama of this year, of 2013. It's really affecting. I saw it yesterday. I thought it was great.
I appreciate it.
And you were great in it.
Thank
you. But
I
feel like I have stock in you.
Since when?
From The Wire.
The Wire, you've been
all the way through,
investor.
all the way Friday Night Lights and Parenthood. But then I found out there's other people who had stock from All My Children, which I was not in on.
Yeah, that was actually I did that after The Wire.
Right.
As soon as I got killed off, I went to All My Children, and that's where I think I learned my work ethic.
Really?
Yeah, man. We did like 100+ pages a day. And Susan Lucci, don't sleep on her. She is not a slouch. I mean, she came to work every day, super prepared. She taught me my work ethic for the most part. She was pretty good.
So you feel like every demo. You at the Wire
bit.
Demo.
Yeah, like
you
give
at
me my
the soap
G-Pass.
opera.
Yeah, The Wire, I'm good in any hood. I'm good.
Right,
I'm good
forever.
Wallace is good, no matter where he goes.
Then Friday Night Lights, you hit like the...
It's the sports fans
sports
down
guy.
south,
Yeah.
Texas. I'm good down there. Everyone, mainly in Austin. I don't really try to venture out too many parts of Texas. But then, and then
Parenthood, like
the families.
I would say, yeah, parents between 35 and 55.
Yep, a little bit.
I didn't know you were on that show, and I started watching Parenthood because some people in the Greatland office were watching it.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was like some sappy show. I knew the Friday night. It was really good. We ripped through. It's one of those binge watch shows. You rip through. Then you showed up. I was like, hey!
I know that guy.
Yeah.
He grew up. He's an alcoholic now. That's too bad. That's too bad. No, but that was a great show, man. Transitioning from Friday Night Lights to Parenthood with Jason Katims. Literally, when the show ended, he was just like, come on over. I want you to, play this character. And he kept me working. And it was a fun system to be a part of.
Let's talk about the movie first, then I want to go through your career.
Cool.
So,
career,
Oscar Grant.
Sounds weird.
Well, you had a career.
I know, it was
Where
crazy.
was The Wire? Like 2001?
2001?
Yeah.
2002?
This is 12 years now. But you were a baby in The Wire.
An old dude.
You got killed in The Wire?
Yeah. I've been dying a lot
Bodie and
lately.
Poot shot you?
Shot me in the chest.
Stringer Bell ordered it. Now you're
Where's
here.
Wallace? Wallace is here. He's
Can't
alive.
shoot Wallace.
It's on Grantland, baby. What's up? I made it.
The Wire was slow going, and then Kima gets shot.
Yep.
And when Kima gets shot, it's like, oh, so all bets are off.
Nobody's safe. That's pretty much when we knew that everybody was like.
Then you get killed. It's like, oh, so really nobody's safe.
No,
so they're going to kill a 16-year-old.
Literally, when you pick up the script each week, you actually skim through it to make sure your name's at the end of the script.
Oh, were you doing that?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Every episode.
So you knew when Wallace ratted out, you knew you had 2 episodes left.
I knew Wallace was on the to-go list when I started taking drugs. And then when I went to my grandmother's house, that's when I knew it was okay. He went away. He tried to stay away, and then he came back to to the low rises. I was like, okay, that should be about it. And then I got the infamous knock on my trailer door by David Simon, and it was just like nobody looks forward to that knock because you kind of know.
But you knew it was going to be a transcendent show. You're like, what if he's just addicted to sugar?
No.
What if he's just eating a lot of cereal?
He's hyper. He's all over bouncing off the wall.
He's got ADD. What about ADD?
That's a legit excuse.
So what was it like to watch the show? And see, now we went to your career.
All right, you want to go back to the movie?
No, I want to finish this. Now I'm excited about it.
Let's do it.
So what was it like to then watch the show after you'd been murdered on the show?
Sad. I felt like it just moved on without me a little bit. In mind you, I'm 15, 16 at the time. I'm 15 years old at the time,
right.
And everybody's saying, Mike, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, I remember when David Simon, he told me, Mike, we love you. Okay, everybody loves you. And that's why we have to kill you. Literally
right.
He had to take out the heart of the show. And it was just I didn't really understand at the moment. And he told me, I'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be working again. At that age, you're like, yeah, right, sure. What do you know? Right. And then, I guess it was for the betterment because I just kind of just kept
So you went to All My Children right after that?
Yeah, that was just, I fell in love on The Wire with acting. That's where I kind of really Andre Roy, who played Bubbles, he walked me through my first, that scene when I started taking drugs. And that was the first time I actually lost myself in a character. And
interesting.
And that's where I got the bug. I was like, I want that feeling again. I want to be able to completely remove Michael from the screen and just, be the character. And then I went to All My Children, and that's where I really got my my on-set experience, really just like my acting chops. Because up until that point, I was just being a kid, just like imitating what I saw for the most part. And that's when I really started to take it seriously on the soap.
How did you get into The Wire? Like, did your parents want you to get into acting, or your family, or did you have some teacher, or what happened?
It was so random. My mom has lupus, and she was at a doctor's appointment, and I was literally sitting in the waiting room, and the receptionist told my mom when she walked out, you should get your son into modeling. And I was awkward.
To modeling?
I was an awkward kid, dude. I know I was weird looking. All right, I thought she was telling a joke. I was like, really? That wasn't my first career choice. I wasn't really planning on doing that. But I actually crashed the receptionist. She had 2 sons, and they were models or whatever, child models. And I crashed the audition, and I booked it. And ever since then, it's been like nonstop. Just
how old were you?
12.
So,
11 and a half, 12, something like that.
So you go on The Wire, it becomes this cult show.
Yep.
But then you become Wallace.
Then
to the general public. You're Wallace really
today.
For the next 6 years.
No, literally, I can go.
I thought Friday Night Lights would have ended it. No,
where's Wallace is I get shouted out that at all the time, randomly.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
I thought I grew up a little bit. I don't know, maybe. You still see that little corner boy with the braids, with the messed up braids. Yeah.
So about 2005, we're like, all right, enough of the Wallace.
Enough of the Wallace. That's when I cut my hair. 2005.
Right.
I graduated high school. I was like, you know what? New look. Let me move out to Los Angeles and really try to see if I could make it as an actor. I was really comfortable in New York because I'm from Newark, New Jersey. And I decided to move out to LA and just get to the grind. Hopefully it'll work out.
So what year was Friday Night Lights? Like 2009?
2009. It was around
because I remember they were doing the cast shift. I know Pete Berg a little bit.
Okay.
And we had talked about. I think we even talked on a podcast. My favorite show growing up was The White Shadow.
Okay, yeah, and it has basketball drama hasn't been done since then.
Right.
The right way. And that only lasted a half a season.
Well, that's the thing. It was 3 seasons.
Okay.
2 great seasons.
Okay.
But then they graduated guys. They brought the new people, and they sucked.
Okay.
The show ended.
Okay.
So when he was talking about, we got to bring in this new blood, I was like, I had my White Shadow scars.
Yeah, started to come back.
But then the people they brought in, they did a good job. Like they were different.
Yep.
They were their own people.
We were nervous.
Matt Laurie was really good.
Dude, we were so nervous.
And there was
Madison
one more.
Berg, she played
oh yeah, your girlfriend?
The Journey Smollett. She played.
Oh yeah, your girlfriend was good.
Chess. Yep.
But everybody was good. They did a nice job with it.
We honestly, they just they gave us the key to the city. We had a big dinner. Kyle Chandler, Jason Kadams, Peter Berg, everybody, and Kyle kind of stood up and said, you know what, you're here for a reason. I trust these guys. I trust casting. Now it's on you to bring something to the table. Don't be scared to experiment. Don't be scared to try anything different. And kind of hearing that from the man of the show just kind of gave you that extra confidence to go in and just kind of do what you're supposed to do. That's how we felt. It's a lot of improv.
How was the sports?
That's the fun part, getting up early in the morning.
You play quarterback. There's a high standard for TV quarterbacks.
It is. That was my first time playing football.
Really?
Yeah, growing up, it was just basketball, baseball, soccer, swimming, but I never played football. I was too skinny.
Yeah,
I just never really got into it that much. But always a fan, big Giant fan. I'm a Giants fan. And literally, I used to get up in the morning, go down to UT, and work out. Literally,
They give you a quarterback coach?
Our football coordinator, on the show will wake up with me, 5 o'clock in the morning before, we actually started filming, go out there for a couple hours and, go through drills, 3-step drops, rollouts, just kind of the whole 9 yards. And that's the fun part about acting, being able to put on different hats and become different people. And, especially the sports aspect. I'm a competitor, so I don't like, the fact that I have a stunt double is cool, but I was like, okay, I want to run the offense.
Right.
Let me run it. So I remember the last episode of Friday Night Lights and season 5, going up to the state championship game, the last 2-minute drill, I actually ran the 2-minute offense, and that was just a feeling.
Really?
In the Cotton Bowl. It was
that's awesome.
Yeah, with the stands are packed, they're extras, whatever, they're paid to cheer, but so what? It felt like it was my moment. It was my moment, man. It felt good, man.
And what did you model yourself after a quarterback? Where you're like, I want to do a dash of Jason Campbell,
just a little bit, and a little Vince Young,
little Vince
Young, because that's honestly Vince Howard was kind of modeled after Vince Young.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it was modeled after Vince Young.
Tiny bit of Willie Beeman.
A little bit of Willie Beeman with the arm, saying the attitude, throwing up before the game. No, Willie Beeman. I love that movie.
You should have called Jamie Foxx and been like, "Hey, man, I need some pointers on Willie Beeman."
That's cool, man. Like Jamie's an excellent actor, man.
He was good in that movie. He was really, really convincing.
Was that his?
That was his first sports movie.
First movies, right? Yeah.
Actually, at the time, I remember thinking he was very Aaron Brooksy. Because it was like Aaron Brooks was having a nice run back then.
Yep.
And then you had 3 seasons on Friday Night Lights.
2. The last 2 seasons, 4 and 5.
Oh, that
Friday Night Lights. Yeah. I came on. It was only 5 seasons. The first 3 was original.
Right.
Yeah.
So
last 2 seasons.
But it was a good comeback though.
It was.
Because people were worried about the franchise.
Yeah, especially when you got Taylor Kitsch, Riggins, which everybody loves, and then he's kind of like moving out the door. But I guess the good thing is he kind of came back in and did a few episodes to kind of help.
So Friday Night Light fans versus Wire fans, compare and contrast. Because those are 2 crazy fan bases.
Soap opera fans are too, but I'm just going to keep it between the 2. All right.
The Wire people know like every single thing that happened in the show, every single detail, every single everything. I don't know if the Friday Night Light fans are like that.
See, I think Wire fans, for me, you have 2 different worlds. You have corporate America that loves The Wire,
Right.
Then you have the inner city, you have guys who felt like that was my life.
Right.
I grew up, I was, selling dope. I was hustling. I was, paging people using codes and stuff like that. So I got that fan base as well. With Friday Night Lights, you get a lot of, sports fans. You get a lot of family, family-oriented fans, a lot of moms. Not so much of the hood. And Friday Night Light fans, I don't know. It's weird. It's
maybe a little whiter,
a little wider field for sure. So it's but it's cool that I'm able to kind of like go back and forth. Can we
go back to the people who thought The Wire was a proxy for what their life was like? What were those interactions like?
No, I mean if I'm like.
No, I get it. It sounds like those would be exciting people to come up.
No, for sure. I mean it's like the. Oh shit, man, it's Wallace. What's up, G? How you doing, man? That was my life, and that was crazy. That was fucked up the way Bodie did. I get that all the time, man. And Avon, that used to be me. They used to be, oh yeah, you was Avon, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was picking the best ones.
Of course. I was Stringer. Yeah. I used to be Omar back in the day. I was like, oh really? You kissing dudes? No, man. It was a lot of fun, man. That show. It's kind of cool to play a character that lasts a decade, and people kind of look back.
It's going to be more than a decade.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting is, not to borrow an analogy from The Wire, but The Wire has that corner.
Yeah.
Nobody else has really approached that corner except the show The Corner, which came before The Wire. But I don't even know if anybody will attempt to do another comprehensive urban inner city show.
Constantly compared to.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah, it'll be.
At some point, somebody will do it. But what's interesting about The Wire, I don't think I started watching it until 2006, 2007, because. I watched.
You got season 1 and got caught up.
We ripped through them. It was like I was one of those, the binge watch in 3. Because my whole thing was he did The Corner. And I thought that was too depressing. I couldn't handle it.
Okay.
So then I was like, The Corner, I'm going to stay away. But then people started doing that. Oh, you got to watch it.
Because I love the way he hit all elements. He went to the courthouse, went to the docks, showed how to win it.
Yep.
Even the guys that are, the antagonists, they have reasons for what they're doing. So you kind of, you have the empathy, you get it, and it's such a smart show, man. Such a smart show.
Well, now with on-demand streaming.
Yep.
What else is it on? It's on Netflix.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. It's really, if you haven't caught up at this point, that's why I don't have a problem spoiling stuff that's happened.
It's too late.
Anyone who hasn't watched it yet, come on.
It's like talking about a Seinfeld episode. Like really? You haven't seen it by now? It's too late. Yeah, exactly.
Parenthood is a little more defensible because that show started, I'm going to say, like 2009. Somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
It was after Friday Night. Friday Night.
Maybe like 2010. Yeah, it's like 2010.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, it is.
But I wonder, if I'm 17, would I watch that show? Or if I'm 22?
Probably not, unless, you're, but there's some, 22-year-olds that, they're in school, 17-year-olds, that are getting ready to go to college. They watch a lot of soap operas that, watch. They're faithful fans of those type of, I guess, dramas. For the most part, those family dramas. Yeah.
So how did Fruitvale come about?
Fruitvale came about I mean, just to kind of like, I remember when it happened in 2009. I remember like sitting on my computer and like, somebody posting it up on my Facebook, on my Facebook wall, and watching it over and over and over again, and just being like, I felt gut punched, man.
Yeah.
I felt because it could have been me. We were so close in age. He's only about maybe like 6-7 months older than I am, and. As an actor, you can't really, you don't really, it's hard for you to speak out, and having such a strong opinion on controversial matters like that, without the media and everybody kind of like, holding on to every word that you say and twisting it and spinning it, however they want to. And I felt like I didn't have a release. I didn't have an outlet to kind of express myself. So, unfortunately, life goes on, You have to kind of like move on for it. 4 years later, the Trayvon Martin incident happens, right? Feel the exact same way. It's gut punched, feeling helpless, feeling like just very frustrated. Literally 2 weeks later, I get a call from my agent, and saying, we got the script about the Oscar Grant story. Wow. Yes, I'll read it,
Yeah.
Read it, started reading it. I remember just bawling my eyes out, man. I still have my script with the tears on it and the tear-stained pages. And then I was like, okay, I got to talk to the director. Let's set up a coffee. I met him at Starbucks maybe a few days later.
It's Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler hadn't directed anything yet.
Nothing. First time, fresh out of film school, USC Film School.
From Bay Area.
From Richmond, California. And the first 5 minutes in the back of my head, I just remember telling myself, you're going to do this movie. You're going to do it. I just already knew it. And if you haven't talked to him yet, when you do, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Such a smart man, wise beyond his years.
We're doing the 30 for 30 with him.
That's right. He's doing about the earthquake, right? Yeah. I remember he was telling me about. He's very excited about that. He's actually excited about.
Everybody loved him. I haven't met him yet, but our whole team loved him.
You'll fall in love with him. Yeah, you're going to. Yeah.
So you knew, you're like, I need this movie. It has to happen.
It has to happen.
I am Oscar Grant.
I felt a certain sense of responsibility, 100% to play that role, definitely.
And you had enough cachet that you could lead a movie at this point. I mean, an indie movie that.
I didn't know yet. I was 25 years old. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the opportunity to really like show what I can do. Everybody, you can wait your entire career, for a role like this, for opportunity to be a lead in a film that means something, and I was scared, dude. Like the pressure to the family. One day his daughter's gonna have to watch this movie.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
I'm playing a real life person for once, and the people that really know him the best and the people that really care about him are going to be watching this, and I'm gonna have to talk to them and try to get to know him through his family, because there's no audio, there's no home video on this guy, so there's not that I can imitate anything. I had to be a representation of who he was and really get to know him through his family and friends, and that was it was a weird process for the first couple of days, but they opened up. They called me Wallace for the first couple of days, and that was cool. That was like my end. They were Wire fans. That was a good thing, and it was just it was a lot of homework. Yeah. But it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it.
And the movie doesn't portray him as a saint. Like, there's a couple moments where the flashes of darkness.
Definitely.
And which I really appreciated, because it makes you pay even more attention, because it's like, look, this guy isn't perfect.
He's human. I mean, like that's what we really wanted to show, is that sometimes when there's an officer involved shooting, a guy's character gets polarized. He either becomes this saint, this perfect person, he never did anything wrong in his life, or he gets depicted as this monster, this degenerate thug, that deserved what he got, deserved to lose his life. And he's being judged by people that don't know him, and a lot of people forget that he's 22 years old, At 22, what do you really know? That's the age when you're supposed to experiment and make mistakes and overcome obstacles, and then you learn from those those life experiences, and then you apply them to your life moving forward, and then you mature into the man that you really want to be. And he didn't get a chance to go through that process, and I just think it's so unfair to be judged off a small sliver of your life like that. And then it's another thing is like in that moment, those officers didn't know his past. They didn't know him. They didn't know, he might have been a straight A student in college right now. They didn't know anything about what did he do in that moment that he deserved to lose his life. In that moment. And
it seemed like all they knew was he was a black guy who'd been in a fight.
Yep. Or thought he was in a fight. Yeah. He just he was a usual suspect. He walked a certain way, talked a certain way, looked a certain way, and And that's why I think Ryan's, approach to this was such a genius move. Was like spend a day in the life of the last 24 hours of his life. I can wake up in the morning with you and go through your day-to-day routine, and by the end of the day I can get a pretty good idea of who you are as a person, I get a pretty good idea of you as your character, like what are you doing when nobody's looking, that's what you should be judged on, and the fact that his life mattered to somebody, he has a daughter that's never going to see him again,
and he had good friends who loved him. I mean,
yes.
that came across too, is that he was part of this larger thing. And as I was watching it, I was wondering, like, how many liberties did he take with, first of all, like that final day? Was that like verbatim what happened, or was he throwing stuff in there? Like,
I want to say about 98%.
Yeah.
True. Fortunately, it's crazy how, all this kind of came about. Ryan's schoolmate was actually, that he went to school with, he went to film school with, actually worked for the attorneys of the Grant family.
Oh, wow.
So he had Ryan was really good at editing video. So he said, well, can you help me put together all this footage together for the case? So Ryan did that, but he had access to all the records, and then he had access to the family. So it was a very eventful day for Oscar. So he spent a lot of time. It was his mom's birthday. Spent a lot of time with his daughter, with his girlfriend. So he was able to really, chronicleize that day very accurately.
So the fight in the well, now I'm spoiling the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of things I want to spoil.
But there's some coincidence. Okay,
yeah, all right. We don't have to spoil the movie.
But there's the only one that is the one of the ones that kind of stands out is the one with the dog. It's very creative by Ryan. Very simple symbolism. Sometimes Pitbull has the reputation of being as this vicious animal, left to die in the street. Similar to young African American males. And
that was one of your best scenes.
It's one that really hit home for me because I have a best friend, that's not around anymore from back home in Jersey, and I always felt if I was home, if I was around or something, maybe we could have been doing something different or hanging out somewhere else, and maybe he would still be here, And Oscar didn't like being alone. That dog almost represented another one of Oscar's friends that lost his life while he was locked up. So it was a lot of similarities. This movie is very I don't know, karma's, things just kind of lined up, in the right way on a lot of different levels with me.
And it seemed like you were able to bring a lot to the table, like, because the cool thing about that part, you got to do different things in it, but it was mostly subtle. But then a couple times, like when he gets mad.
Yeah, that's the fun part, is to kind of go from like being cool, calm, to the touch. And, oh man, he had a quick temper too, man.
I knew you had it in you though. What was the Friday Night Lights episode when they're going to go shoot somebody, and then Vince decides not to do it.
But
it was kind of that same kind of brooding, and you know what I mean?
Like a guy I thought
that was your best episode.
At a crossroad, What is this guy going to do,
That was one of those episodes where like, oh man, this guy's going on to more things.
That was the one for you?
Yeah, no, I was like, whoa.
Okay.
This is like a moment.
Honestly, I used to get episodes and scripts, and I used to read them like, wow, I have a lot to say today.
Yeah,
This is like crazy.
A great character.
It was the first time on television where I had the meat to really just to really showcase what I can do, and really show some range.
And by the way, not a tremendous amount of African American high school characters
can be as
TV
complex.
Movies that are complex, and you can do a bunch of things. I mean, I think you were lucky to get to play that one for 2 years.
Because there's a lot of stereotypes, even though there were some in that show as well, but it wasn't so cliche. It was done in a creative way, and very and very real and not forced. It didn't feel like it was too over the top. It was pretty based in reality.
So you finished this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say rushed it to Sundance, but I'm sure there was some pressure to get in there.
Oh man, yeah, it was like we made the deadline on the deadline day.
I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Starts getting buzz immediately.
Yep.
And then you win the prize.
Yep. It was like, what
was the first?
The bidding war literally happened maybe 2 days after we premiered. Well, the day after, really.
Well, let's go to the premiere first. First time you'd seen it with an audience?
Yep. First time I seen it. The first time the family was going to see it.
So what was that like?
It was nerve-wracking because I sat right behind Oscar's mom.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, I'm peeking over her shoulder, trying to see, from the side of her face. She's smiling and she's laughing and she's like, she's crying, like any type of emotion, anything. And And then toward the end of the movie, when the credits roll, we got a standing ovation, and you hear the sniffles and people crying in the audience. You're like, okay, wow, okay, people were touched. People, felt something, about this project, and you start to feel good. And they call the cast up and the director and everybody up to the front of the stage. And during the Q&A, I remember Oscar's family, his aunt, stood up and said, Mike, I want to thank you because there were certain scenes in this movie that I couldn't tell the difference between my nephew and yourself. And it blew my mind.
Wow.
And it was like a huge weight being lifted off my shoulders because up until that point, I was so nervous. Especially me and Ryan and Octavia and Melanie, we were so nervous because we didn't know what the family was going to think.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got the thumbs up, it made the rest of the process so much easier. So that was my first time seeing it with the audience.
And then you realize your life's gonna change.
No, not even then, man. I just
really?
Because you have no control. At a young age, from auditioning, and you think, you go in there, you do a good job, and you feel like you did a good job, so I'm supposed to get it. You know why? Because I feel like I did a good job, and you don't get it, and it's just like,
right.
So at that age, you kind of train yourself to kind of like you do the work, and then you walk away from it. You just got to move on to the next thing because there's so many other elements that comes into play or that can decide whether or not it's successful or not that you have no control over. So I just try to distance myself. But this one, honestly, we felt like we did something special because there was no egos involved. The story mattered to everybody. The crew was local hire, from the Bay. They were very proud to tell the story. So after seeing it at Sundance, I was like, okay, cool. We got a great response, but I never knew that, the next day, Harvey Weinstein would be trying to buy our movie. And then,
Yeah, because he wanted those Oscar nominations.
Yeah,
you're going to get one, and the mom's going to get one. Octavia Spencer, lock that one down.
Lock that one down.
Yeah, I'm putting money on those two.
All right, you've been right in the past.
Yeah, no, those
you've been pretty good, man.
I mean, that mom part was fantastic.
She was amazing.
That's a great part too, and she was amazing. And it's just
especially because everybody knows her to be like this funny and kind of loud kind of character, and to play somebody really refined and quiet and subtle, was she did a really, really good job with that.
And I don't mean to sound too movie nerdy, but one of the things I really liked about the movie was the director was really patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if movies do that enough anymore. Like scenes breathed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Sit on characters, watch a character think.
Yeah, it was like he captured like just a day in the life of this guy, and I really felt like
you were right there with them, right?
And then he's using like the little sounds from the subway, and there's these little touches. What is he, like 26?
He just turned 27, and he's incredible.
That guy's going on to do more things.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to bet on him too. I'm going to sell some of your stock because your stock's high. Your stock had a surge. I'm going to get rid of yours.
Get rid of yours at the time.
Yeah. This stuff might go to your head. I don't know what's going to happen to you.
No, man, I got my family and everybody's going to keep me pretty grounded, dude. But I'll bet on Ryan too.
So you had, so that was what, beginning of March for Sundance or February?
Nah, that was January.
Or January.
That was into January.
So now you have 6 months.
6 months.
Until this movie comes out. And then as it's happening, the Trayvon Martin trial starts. And you're like, this is horrible, but there are parallels to this in my movie, and as sick as this sounds, this is probably going to help the awareness of my movie.
For sure. And it's definitely going to, make our movie so much more relevant and important and
poignant
and definitely and people, and for the people that are upset and need a release, needed an emotional outlet somewhere, they go and watch this film, and and maybe they might be able to channel that emotion in a positive way, not go out and throw a brick through somebody's window or go riot. That's not the way to handle things. You gotta be constructive. You gotta be positive. You gotta find another way to kind of release that emotion, and hopefully them going to a movie theater that's a help along in the grieving process.
So we're taping this Friday, July 26th.
Mm-hmm. Opening day.
This is when it opened nationwide
today.
And I'm going to be interested to see the reaction. It's a really affecting movie, and it's one of those movies I told you before we started taping that after it's over, everybody just stays in their seats.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people just get up. They want to get to the part. People are just kind of watching the credits and
trying to get.
Then I was
together.
Like, "Can I get up?" Like, because
you didn't want.
How long do we all have to stay here? Because I was like, I just want to get out of here and think about what happened. I don't want to stay here anymore. Yeah. But it's a really, really, really effective movie. I thought you were great in it.
Thank you so much, man.
So what's next?
Man, I don't know, dude. Honestly, just trying to reading a lot of scripts,
Because there was an Apollo Creed's grandson rumor about you.
Yeah, that's the latest one, man.
That's why I wore my T-shirt.
What if he dies?
It's Ivan Drago.
Oh man.
He killed Apollo.
He did, man.
I'm
coming for him.
I wanted to get you fired up to do this movie. Look at that. This guy killed your grandfather.
Man. He did. That's a dope picture. That's a dope shirt, man.
My buddy Gus got this for me.
Got it for you? Okay. Good shout out. Shout out, Gus.
Is that a script? Or is that a rumor? Like, what is the deal with the Apollo Creed movie?
It's a concept right now. That's that Sly signed on for. It's still in the baby stages right now. There's not a script, but it's going to be one. And
if you're doing the Denzel De Niro playbook for your IMDb page in your career, you have to do a boxing movie within like the next 7 years.
Within the next 7 years?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have time.
I think I can handle that. I can handle 7 years.
Like maybe like age 33 would be the cutoff.
Would be the cutoff? Okay.
When did Denzel did the Hurricane a little bit later.
Yeah, he did Hurricane Carter. Ooh.
De Niro did Raging Bull in 1980, so he was about 10 years in when he did that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a playbook. You should study their IMDb's and
just see where they were at and what they were doing, what kind of film they made. Just mock it. Oh yeah, that's nice and smart. Kenny, you listening to that?
Then and you got to do. You don't forget to do the one where you're kind of likable but evil.
Okay.
Like Training Day.
Gotcha.
The Training Day move.
I'm actually looking forward to playing a villain one day.
Don't forget to do the one where you get to be in absolutely ridiculous shape, and there get to be stories about how you put on 20 pounds of muscle. And
see, I think
God,
that might
never looked like this.
I mean, that might be Creed. I think maybe. I think I plan on getting in ridiculous.
Will
shape.
Smith, another one, did Ali.
He did Ali.
10 years. See, but he studied the IMDb's.
Okay.
He was like, what did they? Oh, did he? And then he just started. You got to do an alien movie.
Okay.
Don't forget to do that.
Sci-fi is very important.
Something with aliens invading something.
Okay.
That comes out in July.
And then
that's a big one. Will Smith's. That's what he did. He studied.
The
top 10 most highest grossing movies ever, and like 9 of them had aliens.
Just like knocked them off or whatever.
And he did like Men in Black and Wild Wild West. He did like 3 of them. Yeah.
Do some projects.
Do one where you're like you're a football quarterback who aliens land and everybody in the team and you got to fight the aliens, like something like that.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking.
Right, cool. So what do you
Maybe
think,
a basketball player.
What do you think about a Friday Night Lights movie? I'm curious. Because everybody asked me about that because
I thought it was happening.
I mean, what do you think? How do you feel about it as a fan of the show?
I think it should happen.
Okay.
I miss the coach. I miss Coach Taylor. I don't like seeing Coach Taylor in other movies.
Okay, fair enough.
When he was in Argo with a weird hair, and I was like, come on, that's Coach Taylor.
Coach Taylor. Okay.
Come on.
Go run practice.
I feel bad for Kyle Chandler, but it's like, come on, dude. I'm okay with it if they said it in Philly.
Okay. I have mixed emotions. I mean, only because you have a show that ended, in such a unique way. You kind of had everybody pretty much satisfied, the way it kind of went off the air. But how do you tie in 5 seasons into an hour and a half and make everybody happy?
Well, I think you have to move forward.
You have to move forward.
I don't even know. I don't even know if Vince and those people are in it.
Okay.
I think Coach is like coaching some prep school in Philly, and he feels like a sellout.
It's a nice take.
Super nice upper class prep school in Philly. He feels like he's not helping kids anymore.
Okay.
Something like that. That's where I would go with that. But I don't know. If Berg's involved, it'll be fine. If they get the creative team, right?
Yep. Berg, Brian Grazer, Jason Katims, David Hudgens.
Yeah.
Those guys. They'll come back.
We never talked about your name, which I know you probably get questions about.
Yeah, I do.
So you had to add the initial for obvious reasons.
For SAG.
When you were growing up, though, was there like a basketball expectation with you?
It was actually like I played baseball. My dad was a little league coach for baseball for a really long time. So baseball was like kind of like my first sport for a while. And then I remember getting hit in the nuts a couple times by pitches. Those little league pitchers, they didn't quite hone the craft. They weren't there yet. They were a little all over the place. Didn't really get the strike zone. And that's when I quit. I was like, you know what, I'm done. So I stopped playing baseball for a while, and then I picked up basketball, and that's kind of where it went from there. And I'm pretty good.
So people are like, come on, let's see it, Michael Jordan.
Exactly. And then they stop talking when I get on the court, though. I kind of grew up with a chip on my shoulder. I'm very competitive.
Nice.
I don't like not being able to compete at something. So I definitely took it pretty serious.
So when you're thinking about your Hollywood name, did you think about just going Mike Jordan?
No, I thought about actually changing my name to Michael Bakari. Which is like my middle name. My middle name is Bakari. It's Swahili, means of noble promise. And I just thought it sounded cool. I was like, Michael Bakari, that sounds like a cool actor name. But I just said, you know what? My mom and my dad, they gave me this name. I'm named after my dad. My dad's name is Michael Jordan. I'm keeping it.
I think it was the right move. And it's a good initial. I don't know if it would work if it was a different initial. I think
Michael
you lucked
D.
out.
Jordan?
Like Michael F. Jordan.
Michael F. Jordan.
Michael K. Jordan. Like Michael B. Jordan's kind of like it.
It rolls off the tongue, kind of.
You haven't met him, right?
No, I haven't. Haven't met him yet.
You're not going to buy an NBA team like 30 years from now and run it into the ground, are you?
No, I mean, the first part, yes. The second part, I don't plan on doing that. But I definitely plan on buying an NBA team one day.
And then not pay attention to it and then win 15 games a year. And...
Shots fired. Shots fired. Duck, Mike, duck.
That's why I met you.
Shut up.
I met you at a Clipper game.
Yep.
So you're a fan.
Well, Grant Hill's a buddy of mine. Oh. And DJ, too. You know, so DeAndre Jordan, he's a buddy of mine, too. So I got a chance to just, go check him out. You saw me when I was in the boot, too, right out of ankle surgery.
Oh, yeah.
I was limping around.
How many games you go to?
This season, not that many. I've been working a lot. That was actually the only Clipper game I got a chance to see this year.
So you don't have a favorite team because now you're a famous actor. You got to be friends with all the different guys. Carmelo's my boy. I love Chris Paul. You got to be like you're like a politician.
I gotta be a politician, right? I gotta keep everybody happy.
Actor, politician person.
In my heart, I'm a Knicks fan, so I can't really.
Interesting.
I know. I didn't want to bring that up, while we were sitting face to face.
No, that's all right.
It's cool.
The Knicks had their run.
They did. I mean, Boston had their run, too. We
had our run. Now we're rebuilding.
You got some next 4 years.
You had the window last year, and then it just slammed shut.
Oh, man. When Amari went down, we lost our inside presence. Things got thrown all over.
Well, the good news is the veteran leadership of Meta World Peace should really make this a lot better. You team him with J.R. Smith.
I was going to say, oh, man, dude, listen, Kenny's probably over there losing it, but, J.R. and Meta last 5 minutes of the game, I'm going to, gorge my eyes out. It's going to be pretty.
The rule is you never put two knuckleheads together, and the Knicks somehow ignored that rule. They put those two. I love it. It's going
to be an interesting season next year. I can't wait, man.
It's going to be great. Plus, we're going to have LeBron's free agency.
Oh, man, that's going to be interesting. What do you think? Where do you think he's going to go?
I don't know. Well, if he wins the title, he'll stay because nobody leaves. You don't leave after you win the title.
Okay.
If he loses, then I think it's wide open. Okay. And the Lakers are sitting there waiting for him.
Do you think he finishes his career in Cleveland?
It's possible. I think there's a lot of rumors, right?
What? I think it would be cool for him to go back to Cleveland. I think he fixes the only blemishes on his legacy.
They have he has a 30,000 square foot house in Akron.
Yeah.
So it's not like he moved and I'm out here by Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still there.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible. Cool. I think the Lakers are possible.
Him and Kyrie?
Him and Kyrie would be interesting. Oh, I wish they had done a better job this summer, though.
Oh, it's Cleveland?
Yeah. They had all this cap space. They ended up using it on Jared Jack and Andrew Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had the number one pick.
Yep.
I would have taken Oladipo from Indiana.
For sure. That guy, honestly, for me, dude, hard worker, bro. Plays both ends of the court. And he is I remember seeing him during last season. I was like, okay, guys, breakout player, for sure.
Jalen and I did this thing, the job interview.
Okay.
We interviewed him. We interviewed all the draft picks. We interviewed him, and we were like, it's South Beach. Your teammates want to go out. You have a game against the Heat the next day. What do you do? And he's like, stay in my hotel. I got to guard LeBron the next day. He was just like dead on. His voice never changed. We're like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, man. You see little flashes of.
Yeah, it was good.
It's hard to say. I can't say this. People probably be upset.
Little weightish. What do you say?
I was gonna say the moxie of a young Jordan.
Ooh.
Is that too controversial to say?
Yeah, it's very controversial.
I'll say
he's going to be on the sports blogs.
Well, I'll take
the next 5 days. He's a little Dwayne Wadey.
Little Dwayne Wadey?
Yeah, a little bit Dwayne Wadey.
Some guy that really steps up and plays defense though. He enjoys locking down somebody.
That's why I would have taken him first because it was a bad draft, and he was the one guy I felt like at least I know what this guy can do.
Okay.
He can be the best defensive player at that position and just lock dudes down.
And you can't see his ceiling right now.
He's athletic. Yeah, and that's his worst case scenario.
Yep.
So the Knicks will be interesting because Carmelo is also a free agent after this year. He can get out.
Yeah, he is. But
and if they're a disaster, he might. Who knows with that guy? We already saw him ditch one team.
Yeah, exactly. Where is he going to go? I mean, man, I wish we would have went further.
Oh, I had one more thing for you.
What?
Because I've been giving you career advice. I think you need a celebrity relationship.
A celebrity relationship?
I do. Talk to Kenny, your dude, about this.
Okay. Do you think in the same field
as me? 2.5. No, somebody's famous.
Famous.
2.5 monther.
Okay,
you want to hit that Us Weekly cycle where you start dating and you're like, Michael B. Jordan's dating, I don't know, Vanessa Hudgens. Look at this. These two really like each other.
Just
and you get through
like,
some pictures.
Some random awkward pictures of us at like, Ralph's or something like that, the Grove. Okay.
Yeah, you're taking out her garbage. You're in the Stars Just Like Us section. And then you go to Cabo, a couple beach photos.
Yeah, okay.
You guys like throwing a Frisbee.
Something nice and romantic.
Then you guys break up and get back together. That's 2 issues.
Okay.
And then 10 weeks, just get rid of her.
See, I'm not Justin Bieber. They're not following me around. They don't care.
You need one of them, though.
Need one?
Yeah, you need like people like.
I like my
you
privacy,
get, like,
though, man. I like my privacy. A little bit. As much as I can.
For the privacy.
As much as I can.
I'm just trying to make you the biggest star in the world.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Why don't you produce one of my television shows that I've been working on?
Which television show?
Well, I've been working on it.
Is it a sports one?
It is a sports
Are there balls in them?
Yes, definitely basketballs involved.
Basketballs.
Very Friday Night Lights, Wire-ish.
Really?
Set in
Oh,
Detroit.
we're going to have to... Set in Detroit.
Something, maybe you...
Jalen Rose is already executive producer. He doesn't even know. He's eating lobster right now and has no idea he's an executive producer.
I think we should talk about that one day.
You know about Jalen's lobster?
No, I don't.
Thing?
What happened? What do you do? Is he addicted to lobster?
Jalen will always get lobster in any menu, no matter what the restaurant is, if it's on the menu. Mm-hmm. And he has to have it well done.
How is that even possible?
It's a great question. I don't totally know the answer. But he demands that it's well done.
Okay.
And if they bring it and it's not well done enough, he'll send it back.
He'll send it back? Okay,
yeah.
The lobster back? Okay.
Yeah.
He's a man
That's
who knows
like
what
his
he wants,
one prima donna thing, yeah.
I'm not mad at that. You got to have one thing. It's not bad if you
well
go for
done
the
lobster. Yeah. So when you're courting Jalen to be an EP,
I'm going to send him a box of well
White Shadow Wire Basketball Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm in on this idea. I almost feel like I don't even think we should give it away in the podcast.
No,
there's a Detroit series, though, on AMC that's coming out. Long
sports?
Cold Winter, something like that? No, it's not sports.
Oh, okay. I just think Detroit is such an interesting city, the automotive industry kind of destroyed that town when they went away and started outsourcing jobs and stuff like that. And, it's we'll talk.
What was your hometown?
Newark, New Jersey. Brick City.
Newark. So you lost the Nets.
Yep.
That's interesting. You weren't a Nets fan, but...
Never. I've always been a Mets, Giants,
Knicks.
Jets,
Giants, Knicks.
Yeah, okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
No. Giants,
hockey.
Mets, Knicks.
Giants, Mets, Knicks.
Tripping. Okay, I was on.
No hockey.
No.
College? St. John's? Johnny's?
Michigan State.
Oh, that's going to be tough with Jalen.
Yeah, I know.
Jalen's out.
I know.
Jalen just canceled the movie.
Magic Johnson. I'm a big Magic Johnson fan.
Well, Magic might. He's
Come on,
very,
boy.
very wealthy.
Yeah. Sorry, Jalen.
He's extremely rich.
Leave the bat.
He's extremely rich. So what's next? Are you filming anything?
No, I'm not filming anything right now, honestly. Just reading a lot of scripts, taking a lot of meetings, just trying to figure out whatever, the best move, just
How many of the screenings do you have to go to? Like, how many have you been to?
I've been to all of them. As far as sitting through them, I've only seen the movie 5 times. So I usually just go up in the beginning, introduce, and then come back for the Q&A, go get a drink, go eat some food, and then come back. I can't watch it anymore. Once it's over, it's not for me anymore. It's for everybody else.
You start picking it apart on like the 7th time.
Color correction, looking at reflections.
Why did I do that?
Why? Bruh, stop saying that. No more bruhs, So it's, I don't know. I've enjoyed the run.
It's a great movie. I'm excited to see how it does.
Me too. I mean, it's not a film that's going to, gross $100 million opening weekend. It's not one of those projects.
No, it's going to have a slow simmer.
Exactly. As long as it means something to people and people are affected by it, and I get people to start thinking about how we treat one another, just because we're, just because we're different. Yeah, man. I just want people to start thinking and start valuing life a little bit more.
You know what I liked was that it's been such a bad summer of movies, and it's just like superhero movies and 3D movies
and blockbusters,
people,
and stuff.
Things blowing up, and I don't feel like they're making enough movies like this anymore. And I think, even if you look at how this movie was made,
mm-hmm.
it's not like the studios did it. Like somebody made it on his own, and it got bought.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker kind of came in and really godfather this project. Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Yeah, Ryan pitched it to Significant Productions, which was Forrest Whitaker and Nina Yang, Bon Jovi's production company, and they went and got the money. Not $900,000 and some duct tape, but we got it.
Wow.
We got it done. One camera.
$900,000.
Yeah, one camera, man. So
one camera.
One camera. Ryan's a monster. And our DP, Rachel Morrison, I'm gonna give her a lot of love. She's amazing too, man. It's
all right,
incredible time.
Well, we'll talk off camera about your big idea.
Let's do it.
Consider some of my advice.
I will. Celebrity relationship.
Boxing movie next 7 years.
Boxing movie next 7 years. Aliens.
One
Football
alien
and
movie.
aliens.
We're football sports movie. There's never been an alien sports movie.
Nope.
Think about that.
Okay.
And then, maybe David Simon, if he does the Wire movie, maybe you play Wallace's uncle.
Wallace's uncle?
Because you're grown up now. It's not you don't look like Wallace anymore. Maybe you sneak back in as like a relative.
As a relative, put some facial hair.
Just a cameo.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
cool.
you shave your head.
I have to give the one liner, where's Wallace?
Oh, and the movie where you gain 20 pounds of muscle. And then part of the story is leading up to it is how you put on all the weight and you've never been in such good shape. Don't forget that one.
Okay, cool.
Michael B. Jordan, good luck with everything.
Appreciate that, Mr. Simmons.
So I get to sign off. Whoa.
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.